Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for February 3, 2024. Please remember to leave a comment, like, and share. And in the news this afternoon, Morgan and Morris lock horns over alleged defamatory comments. Clarendon North Central Member of Parliament Robert Morgan has hit back at Mocha Division Council candidate Romaine Morrison's defamation claims, asserting that his lawsuit threat is an attempt to dilute or circumvent the truth. In a letter dated February 2, 2024, Morgan, through his attorney Alexander Shaw, denied defaming Morris and insisted that statements made by him 3 weeks ago were accurate. As you are aware, the law of defamation only protects an individual against untrue statements. If the defendant in any matter can prove that his statement is true of the plaintiff, he will have a complete defense, as no one is entitled to protect a reputation he does not really possess. This principle is applicable in the instant case, said a section of the letter, which was seen by the news. Morris threatened to file a defamation suit against Morgan, the country's de facto information minister, over allegations of impropriety he reportedly made last month. He has given Morgan 10 days to apologize and 3 days to remove comments and the content he says have besmirched his reputation from all his social media platforms. The two had a public spat 3 weeks ago, a spillover from Morris's crossing of the floor at the Clarendon Municipal Corporation to join the opposition People's National Party in January. Morris, whose division falls within the Clarendon North Central constituency, was elected on a Jamaica Labour Party ticket in 2016. The council candidate for the PNP made the demands via his attorney, Charles Ganga Singh, in a letter dated January 26, 2024, a copy of which has also been seen. This missile serves as a caution for you to cease and desist from attempting to make, encouraging others to make any defamatory statement, comments, videos, partake in any defamatory interviews with regard to Mr. Romaine Morris, the letter said. It added that Morgan had encouraged in a radio interview which contained several malicious and disparaging statements and innuendos against Morris. Further, it said that Morgan made gravely defamatory comments that were published on several social media accounts owned and/or operated by him. Your actions have maliciously besmirched the reputation of Mr. Morris, who is an eminent and highly respected citizen and a politician whose influence spreads far and wide nationally. It is hard to imagine a more damaging series of libels of Mr. Morris, which are calculated to cause him and his family serious and lasting damage in his public and private life, as they erode his integrity and paints a very distrusting image in the minds of right-thinking individuals, the document added. Morris is demanding that Morris produces and delivers a letter with an unqualified apology in terms that will be dictated by his attorney. He also wants the apology to be disseminated across all social media platforms within 3 days after receiving the letter. It is not immediately clear when the letter was delivered. Should these demands not be met, I have full instructions to commence legal proceedings against you forthwith to recover damages as well as aggravated damages therein, the letter signed by Ganga Singh said. But Morgan's attorney has indicated that no apology will come. Our client, per our instructions, has not defamed Mr. Morris and therefore urges against any attempt to dilute or circumvent the truth. We are prepared to disclose on you evidence of communication had with your client and other counselors. Further instructions are that remedial actions have been taken, but this does not change the truthfulness of our client's statement at the material time, Shaw said in the letter. Special focus at the polling stations in volatile communities. The Electoral Office of Jamaica says that during the February 26 local government elections, it will be paying close attention to polling stations in 23 selected areas located in areas classified as specialist constituencies. Director of Elections Glasspool Brown said these constituencies are normally comprised of inner-city communities known to be volatile. They are located in St. James, Clarendon, St. Catherine, and Kingston and St. Andrew. We will be treating them differently from the other constituencies called normal constituencies in the sense that workers from those divisions in the local government election will be taken from outside of those divisions to man the polling stations on election day, Brown told the news on Thursday. Those that we categorize as specialists, we do so because of the historical things in terms of violence, etc. So the decision was taken long ago to treat those as specialist constituencies. So the workers in the polling stations, more so the presiding officers and the supervisors, are taken from outside of the division or the constituency so as to minimize any potential intimidation of those particular workers, Brown explained. He said, too, that additional security arrangements will be put in place for those electoral divisions which will see greater presence of the security forces and the Citizens' Action for Free and Fair Elections observers. In the meantime, Brown said the EOG is fairly advanced in its preparation for the election to be held on February 26, having secured most of the equipment and recruited the majority of the 32,000 to 35,000 workers needed for the election day process. Based on our schedule, we are comfortable with where we are now, Brown said a few hours ahead of local government and the Community Development Minister Desmond McKenzie's declaration of the election date at a JLP meeting held at the Montego Bay Convention Center. We started our preparations some time ago. We have recruited our election day workers. We are now in the final stage of training everybody that we require. We needed about 21,000 presiding officers, poll clerks, reserves, and the supervisors combined, he said. He said that there is another group of workers the EOJ is about to finalize, including one-day policemen, the logistics coordinators, the cleaners, the handymen that will assist us and work with us on election day. Brown said we have procured most of our supplies that are needed for the elections. There are some activities that will kick in at the point of nomination, for example, the printing of ballots, etc. We can't print those until we know who the nominees are. Those activities will kick in as soon as the announcement is made. Touching on the matter of the government's push to have the functions of the political ombudsman be subsumed under the Electoral Commission of Jamaica and to do so in the time for local and general elections, Brown argued that the run of elections has nothing to do with the ombudsman as such. There is a particular role that the ombudsman normally plays, and more in terms of a referee, in terms of any issue as it relates to behavior, etc. What gets the elections would be the Representation of the People Act. It is a separate arrangement between that act and the Political Ombudsman Act, he said. At Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck attempted to have the Political Ombudsman Amendment Act 2024 passed that would see the integration of the Ombudsman's functions into the ECJ, but he was met with resistance. In tabling the bill, Chuck had argued that there was an urgent need to have an adjudicator in place before the local government polls. Debate on the bill was subsequently suspended. In the meantime, Brown is appealing to people who have not yet picked up their new voter ID cards to do so. Those are the cards that will be accepted as their ID cards on election day. The persons who come with their card will be able to move through the process much faster. If you don't have the card, you will still be able to vote, but the difference is you will be required to take a note from the Electoral Office of Jamaica offices located across the constituencies, he said. The local government elections will be administered by the EOJ, a public government agency which carries out the day-to-day operations of the ECJ.